Have you ever tried to figure out how your tongue works? Like, have you ever looked into like vocal technique books? Open it up to the part about the tongue, see what it has to say. If you have, and you walked away with confidence that you know how your tongue works, and you can answer a simple question like, how do you move your tongue directly backwards? If you think that, and you think that after reading vocal technique books, you're a bullshitter. You're bullshitting yourself. You're bullshitting yourself because these diagrams that you're given actually don't explain how the tongue could move back. They do everything but that. They don't explain how your tongue can move back because generally the muscles that do that are missing from the diagram. They're missing from the diagram for a few reasons we could talk about. But for now, let's just take a look at how we're shown the tongue and then how the tongue actually is. So this is LARY, the Laryngocentric Anatomical Research and Reference Interface. LARY is a project I've been working on to try to show in 3 dimensions how the voice works and how it relates to the rest of the body. So it's laryngocentric in the sense that we're looking at the whole body from the point of view of the larynx, like it's a larynx support system. As you can see, the tongue has a bunch of external muscles, extrinsic muscles they're called, that can move it in the big general directions. One of them pulls towards this bone called the hyoid bone that's shaped like a U, and you can see that right above the larynx there. Another one pulls towards the chin, and we can't see that because I got rid of the whole jaw so that we can look at the tongue. But it connects to the chin in the front, and it pulls it towards that. There's these other muscles that pull towards the hard palate. It's like a ring that gets smaller and pulls up the whole tongue there. And we have this styloglossus muscle that connects to just in front of your ear to the styloid process, which we can all see here. But take a look at this big old gap in the back. That's a big gap. And because of this gap, there's no way for the tongue to move directly backwards. There doesn't appear to be any way it can accomplish that. And yet, people who show you this version of the tongue swear to you that these muscles can accomplish all of that. Not only that, they will tell you details of why you get tongue tension and how to release the tongue tension. The guy who really popularized this model of the tongue for singers actually came up with this really scary looking torture contraption to try to train your tongue. And his idea was that, well, the reason it's hard to get it to do stuff is that you have muscles that are interfering with the one that you want to use. Now, this guy was named Douglas Stanley, and he started what people now call bel canto, or what they don't refer to at all because it's the only kind of classical singing school that they've ever come across. Speech level singing talks about bel canto, and when they talk about bel canto, they mean Douglas Stanley. They mean the guy who published this diagram. Well, the problem with understanding your tongue, according to Douglas Stanley, or according to bel canto, which is not Italian, but actually came from New York in the early 20th century. The problem with understanding your tongue that way is it makes no sense. And if you're now saying that you've come up with theories about the details of how to use the tongue based on this, you are a bullshitter. I've been a bullshitter, and I'm trying to clean that up now. So let's take a look. These really skinny muscles leading up to just in front of the ear, they're not really enough by appearances here to coordinate with these much larger muscles. And not only that, they pull in a really specific direction that is not the direction we tend to be sending our tongue in. I mean, sometimes, yeah. But a lot of other times, we don't need to go all the way up there. And we also need to have some kind of precision with what we do. So I feel all we had was like a rope that can pull, in that one specific direction. We can't do very much. But what if there's other muscles? Haha. There they are. There's other muscles. These muscles are called pharyngeal constrictors, and I've eliminated most of them and left just the ones that attach to the tongue or to the hyoid bone. And why is it important to have the ones attached to the hyoid bone? Well, people talk about the root of the tongue, and usually they mean the hyoglossus muscles. Those are the muscles connecting the tongue to this bone. I'm not so sure you would want to call this the root of the tongue unless you think of your tongue as a potted plant. Because this bone can be moved. And the prime way it's moved backwards is by this pharyngeal constrictor that's in the middle, so the middle constrictor. And we can break that into two muscles. One is the keratopharyngeus, and that's attached to the whole length of the hyoid bone. And I've left off the chondropharyngeus because it's not so important and it cluttered the view here. But that's attached to the front of the hyoid bone. Okay, great. And we also have this glossopharyngeus. And the glossopharyngeus is attaching the back of the throat there, and the pharyngeal raphe, as we call it, which is like, imagine your vocal tract has a spine. That's what that is. So it kind of connects from the spine of your voice right into the base of the tongue there. So it's really logical and simple how your tongue moves back. And then it's pretty logical and simple how it would move forward. We can pull from the chin. We have a muscle that connects to the chin from the tongue, and then another one that connects the hyoid bone to the chin. So we see it's like a potted plant, and we can move the pot around, and then the plant itself can move around from within the pot. It's not that complicated. But we make it really complicated when we leave off pieces. And it's okay to make that mistake. But now that you know, stop making it. Here's what I can suggest. If you want to engage these muscles or, explore how you can use them to help shape your vocal tract, think about a peanut still within the shell. You're going to put that peanut in your mouth, and using the back of your tongue and the back of your throat, you hold the peanut. That's it. And you can change the size of the peanut, but as long as you're holding the peanut, you're going to have a little bit of tension in the hyoid, going from the middle constrictor to the hyoid, and from the upper constrictor to the tongue. And those can stabilize, move your tongue. They're going to be coordinating with the rest of the muscles. But they are the reason you do not need to release the front of the tongue in order to move your tongue back. And you do not need to release the back of your tongue to move it forward. That's not how that works. You just need to think about moving the tongue forward and do that. And automatically these ones in the back will relax. But not all the way. They'll only relax as much as you need to get the tongue to go exactly where you need it to go. That's called antagonistic muscle action. What it feels like is nothing. It just feels like moving your tongue in that direction. Or, if you extend and flex your finger. This is also antagonistic muscle action. If there were no antagonistic muscle action, I wouldn't be able to control how fast I do this or how hard I do this. I don't need to train to release in order to learn how to move something precisely. All I need to do is learn how to do this movement the normal way. And that's already antagonistic muscle action. So I hope that helps. And I hope you can maybe be a little bit less confused about your tongue now. And I should mention, please like and subscribe, because I keep forgetting to mention that because I don't really care.